Today we're tackling a big question. With the rise of code generators and AI that can make UI elements based on a drawing, will AI take your software testing job? The short answer is no. Hi, this is Luis from Melsac, and today I can safely tell you that no, AI won't take your job. Instead, we think it'll enhance the way you work. Let's see how we can make AI a powerful ally for software testers. We like to think of AI in the testing world's context as a controlled chaos maker. We can simulate some parts of a human being to introduce some unpredictability in our tests and see if our app mitigates against the chaos. Instead of fighting AI, let's embrace it. One of the ways we can do that is if we have it write test cases for us, execute it, and then tell us if it passed or not. We can then easily move to those generated tests to a framework like Cypress or a continuous integration environment like GitHub Actions. So for the rest of the video, we'll show you how you can have AI make a test case that generates and sends an email, reads the contents of said email from the user's inbox, and ensures that contents of 1 and 2 are the same. To be safe and not risk sending any emails to any customers, we'll use Melsac and its API. Let's go. So for this walkthrough, we're going to be using OpenAI's Assistant feature. Assistants are a little bit more of a halfway point between the chat AI that we all know and an AI agent that's more autonomous. We'll want to give this AI the ability to generate and run some code and read files, but not necessarily make any autonomous decisions. For the instructions, we'll give it some system prompts to let it know under what context it should be operating under. We'll use the latest GPT-4o model and enable the code interpreter tools. That should allow it to read, run, and execute some code for us. Now let's go ahead and start generating our test cases. We'll use this prompt. You are creating a code test that will return true or false if a certain criteria passes. The language for all tests should be in JavaScript. Use .env for your API keys. The criteria is generate an email message and send it via node mailer using Google's SMTP servers and send it to ferrari@mailsac.com. Wait 2 seconds for the email to send from Google and then use the Mailsac API to check the subject and the content of the email. Make the test pass if it matches what was sent in one and fail if it doesn't match. Keep in mind that you can easily tweak the SMTP to use your own service. We'll stick with Google's as it's the most accessible for this walkthrough. So let's generate the test case. Fire it off to the AI assistant and let it generate the test case. In this run, it generated a Mocha test for me. In previous iterations, it didn't generate a whole Mocha test, so I will ask it to just use Node. As you can see, it pretty much walks you through the whole project creation process. So let's go ahead and do our manual setup and install. We'll just copy the libraries it wants us to use. And now we'll use a .env file to hold our API keys. You'll need an application password for the Google SMTP. You can find where to add that in your Google account. You'll also need a Mailsac key. Now copy all of your keys and email into the .env file. Now let's start working through the code itself. Looking through the code, it looks fine, with 2 exceptions. It needs to be guided on the API endpoint, to use API text instead of API messages. And the object it retrieved is the text itself, so we can remove the non-existent child text body. Now let's go ahead and run the test. Check on MailSack's website to visually make sure that the email was actually sent. Perfect. Now let's make the test fail on purpose. And it works. From here, it's easy to incorporate these kind of tests into specific continuous integration frameworks of your choice. You could use Cypress and work with existing libraries or an existing framework to run your tests. Or you could use GitHub Actions to fully run your now AI-generated tests in the cloud. We have a guide showing you how to do just that in the description. As you can see, it still took a human element to know what to want to test, frame it, and even tweak the AI's output to make sure that what it was generating made sense. Testers aren't going anywhere anytime soon, especially if you leverage AI to do the work for you while you focus on what's important, what to test, and why. This has been Luis from MailSack. Till next time.